LPT Request: what to say to a coworker you hate if they ask you why you act differently around them. I've worked with this woman, Rachel, for around 8 years. She is a customer service manager and I am the store's media specialist. She is the worst, micromanages everything, talks about people behind their backs, screws up projects, gets involved in things she shouldn't, and has one of the most obnoxiously fake-sounding laughs I've ever heard. Recently my office mate told me that Rachel said she noticed that I leave the room when she comes in. Which is true. I'm worried she is going to try to talk to me about this. And I'm tired of being fake nice to her. I don't want to flat out tell her I don't like her and being around her makes me anxious. But I have no idea how to professionally say I wish you would take a long walk off a short pier. The goal isn't to build a relationship. It's to get her to understand that I don't like her and don't want to interact with her at all. Seems like Rachel has almost figured it out herself. Just keep giving the cold shoulder. You're almost there. I'm not in HR. But from what I have seen posted online, it's a minefield. I just keep avoiding her and not say anything. The minute you do, you are likely to be a target. Slap a fake smile on and just keep finding opportunities to leave the room when she is around. Also, try the Ask a Manager website for some words of wisdom. I'm sure someone has asked this before. The only thing you have to do is be polite and only discuss whatever business you have with her, and always end your conversation with "will that be all?" Or, "is there anything else?" When the answer is anything outside of business, redirect back to business, then end with "excuse me, I have to make a call," or something else having to do with your job. You want to seem like you're busy working. Don't even engage with her. Walking out is the perfect response to someone annoying because they absolutely notice it and it drives them crazy. Anything you say can and will be held against you. Just deny it and get over the fact that you can't go off on someone you don't like in the workplace. If you really care, complain to HR, I guess, but TBH. Shitty people are just a part of life and you aren't obligated to explain that you don't like someone to anyone. Them asking that is literally just them setting a trap for you to start an argument. If they come up to you to try and initiate something about why you're avoiding them, just act like you don't know anything. "Aw, really? Yeah, sometimes I just get so focused on my own work. Speaking of which, I gotta get going." Don't apologize for being busy. It makes it seem like you're in the wrong. I'm a pretty non-confrontational person too, so I really get you. Humor them and make fun of them in your head. Ever waited tables? It's all acting. My coworker's reply to someone was, "No, I don't like you. But I don't even like myself sometimes, so don't feel bad." I laughed so hard. And think about this often. I know you can't stand her. But the Machiavellian thing to do here would be to make her think you're fine with her. There isn't much to gain by openly having enemies at work. I try to humor the colleagues I don't like, though I get after years how that can be hard to stomach. Tell her that you don't like office gossip, so you leave the room. "Sorry, do I? Wasn't aware. I'll take that on board. Bye." Giphy NDII WeKek EGR3VA7AQM. When a coworker asked me why I limited our conversations to work-related topics when I would joke with everyone else, I simply said, "We don't have to be friends. But we have to be professional and courteous." I think it clarified the fact that I wasn't interested in building an interpretational relationship with him. If she approaches you asking to chat, politely decline, "Sorry, not interested." If she keeps talking, just walk away. Unless you have tasks you are obligated to work with her on, and it sounds like you don't, or you probably would have quit by now. Nobody can force you to interact with her. Just remain polite. Don't talk about her with other coworkers either. That is grounds for dismissal. In general, treat your job and life as if she didn't exist, and you'll be all the more happy for it. Refusing to work with someone can be construed as discrimination or harassment. Be cautious when you let your personal feelings for a coworker affect your behavior that can be demonstrably different in how you treat others. If you don't have a solution to this, you may find yourself called into HR. If she can notice you acting in this way, so can others. It's a workplace. You have an expectation of civility. You cannot admit to her what you are doing. Just say you don't know what she's talking about and continue to do it. Never admit it. If you do, she will escalate it. If she calls you out when doing it, just say you remembered something you have to do. This way she can't really do anything about it. I guess the big question is, how corporate is your job? Is hour involved in everything? Or is it just a get the job done kind of company? If it's the first one, I would explain the situation to someone high up or in HR and warn them ahead of time. They don't like surprises. They will also tell you exactly how they want you to approach the conversation, and you won't get in trouble if you follow their advice. I use this often. I don't give personal opinions at work if they persist. Pardon me. I'm very busy. I have work to do. Both of these answers will burn bridges. If you are unable to burn those bridges, then give a very big smile and say, I wasn't aware. I'll take a look at that. No point in looking for trouble when there is enough to go around. It's her own presence that pushes people away. Maybe that's a sign of self to reflect on one's actions. If they don't understand, it's not your problem or job to explain it. I like your avoid if possible mentality while dreaming of peer jumping solutions. Honestly, even if you do confront her about it, she will just talk to the others. The less your name is on her lips, the better. Good luck, homie. I know enough about you purely by reputation to know your presence is challenging and cooperation unlikely. In the spirit of doing my part to ensure a drama-free environment, I will continue to maintain my distance and hope you will do the same. If she does come to talk to you about it, whatever you end up saying, someone said something about asking if you have been unprofessional, was a great idea. Make sure, if you think even for a second that she left your interaction angry, talk to HR about it. You don't need to badmouth her or explain why you don't like her. Just say, I have always been professional with her and I don't know why, but she asked me about this. Because if she goes to our first, they will assume you are the problem. I have had this exact scenario happen, and it's annoying because the second person they talk to has to play from behind. Personally, I'd be more concerned with your office mate. This so-called mate has engaged in conversations about you, then has come and told you information with the intention of making you feel what exactly? What was this person aiming to achieve? Sounds like a troublemaker to me. That's who you should be more cautious about engaging with. The book Radical Candor is a great read for anyone and will help you frame a discussion with that individual that might help them. I'm 64 years old, and even now, I can remember how thrilled I was at 21 years old when an obnoxious older coworker finally quit. She was the bane of my existence, and I hated having to be around her. Fortunately, I did have seniority over her due to being there longer. One day, she told me to go get something from the stockroom. I just said, no, you can get it yourself. She was in a rage that someone young enough to be her grandchild didn't obey her. But there was nothing she could do about it. I would deny her feelings since that's what they are, even though she's right. Ask her why she feels that way, then say something like, I could see why you think that. Never confirm she is right, because then you will become a target of her bitchiness.